Today we are going over another Destiny 2 build, and this time it is for Stasis Titans. This is a sword focused build that has a great amount of survivability while also a mindless charge with light setup to give even more survivability and increased damage. For the quick build rundown, we have the subclass Behemoth with Tectonic Harvest and Glacial Lance. You want Whisper of Chains, Torment, Rhyme, Shards, and Conduction. For the armor, we want Stronghold Exotic Arms, and for mods you want Elemental Shards, Elemental Charge, Protective Light, Lucent Blade, Supercharge, and Passive Guard. Other useful mods are Utility Kickstart, Grenade Kickstart, Resists, and Scavengers. Armor stat priority should be Recovery to tier 10, then Discipline greater than Strength, greater than Intellect, and Mobility greater or equal to Resilience. This is your choice, but this is what I personally go for. For weapons, you mainly want to use Crown Splitter for DPS. Half Truce is a great option for movement, and Solar Scar covers a bit of range, and this also gives you one sword for each element. The Lament can also be used for even more survivability with the healing. Other weapons are up to you. Witherhoard and Blinding Grenade Launchers are basic options, and I've even run Div to support teammates for ranged DPS. And then general tips: blocking greatly reduces damage, and blocking within a half second before taking damage restores health. You can throw down a Glacial Grenade to make cover, create burst AoE damage, or generate charge with light stacks when you break them. Strafe Lift can allow for fast movement while blocking. Use Towering Barricade for cover when you don't have a Glacial ready. Spamming late attacks are better for total damage, where weaving in heavy attacks is usually better DPS. Eager Edge Skating is insane movement, and if you don't already know how, just swap weapons immediately after swinging when the perk is procced. Diamond Lance is just a great free ranged AoE freeze, and the Behemoth Super is actually really good for ad clear, as well as large targets such as tanks take some insane damage from all the crystals exploding. That's all you need to know for the build for now. And if you like this so far, make sure to like and subscribe. But now I'm going to go in more depth for the build if you would like it. Starting again with the subclasses, Tectonic Harvest generates a Stasis Shard when breaking a Stasis Crystal. Diamond Lance creates a Icy Lance when you kill a slowed or frozen target. Whisper of Chains grants one resist stack when you're near a Stasis Crystal or frozen target. Whisper of Rhyme grants health or an overshield at full health when collecting Stasis Shards. Whisper of Conduction, Stasis Shards move slowly to you when within 15 meters. Whisper of Shards increases grenade recharge rate by 250% for 5 seconds, up to 10 seconds when shattering stasis crystals. Whisper of Torment grants 2% grenade recharge every 1 second when taking damage. Stronghold allows for infinite and stronger blocking, with the blocking damage within 5 seconds healing you. It also grants 90% damage reduction for all swords and 95% for Crown Splitter. Elemental Shards allow us to use Stasis Shards as Stasis Wells every 7 seconds. Elemental Charge turns those wells into Charge with Light stacks. Supercharge allows us to hold a max of 4 Charge with Light stacks. Protective Light grants 40% damage reduction when our shields are broken, consuming all stacks, and lasting 5 to 20 seconds depending on the stacks consumed. Lucent Blade grants a 35% damage buff for 5 seconds, consuming 1 stack of Charge with Light, and increases charge rate on swords when another arc mod is applied. Passive Guard grants a 50% damage reduction to enemies in a 15-meter radius while wielding a sword. And Grenade and Utility Kickstart refunds 15 to 25% energy for that ability when using that ability. And for the viability for this build, it is completely viable in any PvE content. I have used this everywhere since building it, and have done a solo flawless Grasp of Avarice and Shattered Throne with it since. Other places where I will use this is raids, dungeons, strikes, and solo activities. For raids, you might want to bring Div more often and mainly use the sword for ad clear. And this does not work very well in Gambit because you can't start with heavy ammo. And I would highly recommend not using this as a PvP build because, again, you're not going to get heavy ammo that often. This build is an extremely fun one, and I have never been much of a Titan person other than deleting bosses with Curious Thundercrash when it first came out. Now I have been doing dares and dungeons with this build all the time, and I hope you enjoyed it as well, and I will see you guys next time.